No, I have to leave it on.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's that time again. Why is it I stand behind a picture of a microphone so I can't see me down there? That's better. Welcome to Tuesday afternoon's chat and banter and part 2 of a bowl. I see we've got 2 club members in already, Barry and Andy. I think Scott's coming in a minute, but I'll let my earworm introduce you all. I'll bring him in so you can see who you're talking to. We got Brian from Hartwood. You might end up with another voice in the background in a bit, because I think Scott's coming in. Oh, so daughter's in.
Good morning, everyone.
So Peter's in as well. Right, I'm going to take Brian out, hide him in the background so he can get undressed and do his practice pole dancing so he can match Mark.
There's not much chance of me pole dancing, but sure.
Change the camera so that
Oops, nearly fell over my radiator.
Don't do that. Cam mic, can't. If I go on to that one, I think that's probably going to be the best shot for you, which is that one.
Yep, that's a good picture for here.
That's not a bad picture. Right, carrying on from last week, before you're all introduced, all I've done is in the trough that I cut in here. If you remember, I cut a 5mm deep trough. I've stuck the ewe oysters in, and I've filled them not with milliput, because the milliput was an orange brown, which didn't go with what I wanted. So I've used the bark, which I was talking about, the crushed, minced up bark, pushed in and set with super glue. So with any luck, all I'm going to end up doing is sharpening chisels, because the milliput, because the super glue is quite hard and abrasive. But I'm going to make a start turning, and I'll just get me full screen so I can see a little bit of the chat. Kill that one, and glasses on.
So I'll read out who we've got in the participants channel. Starts off on my list anyway as Andy H is for turning, Barry Fitch, Clive Rogerson, welcome to Doug Miller from Woodspun Round, Doug Mungham, Duncan and Damon Barber, Gerard the French turner, welcome Gerard, Hodgepodge Woodworks, James Cassidy, Sean S, Lawrence Bugia, not sure if that's how you pronounce that, Lawrence, apologies if it's not, Mark Pritchard, Peter Kelly, Richard from RGK Spinning Wood, Robert Dolman, Steve Scott, the Limington, and Tommy's Workshop. And if there's anybody else in there, I will catch up with these in a minute.
Welcome to you all.
So welcome along to Case Demo, everybody. Any questions? If you've got any questions, just please pop a couple of question marks with capital letters at the start of your chat so I can read it. So Doug Miller's only in for a few minutes. He says he's only got about 30 minutes this morning. He has a meeting to get to.
I'm not that quick.
No, it's not when we're watching.
Well. Yeah, it's actually cutting quite well, but I haven't got down to much CA at the moment. I'm on about 400 at the moment. Let's creep it up to about 5-ish. We got another hooligan in now. Do I need to go and let him in?
The blue light turner.
Yeah. You in, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got a very faint picture of you, that's all. Scott, you speak. That's better.
Have you let me in now?
Yeah,
Oh, there you go,
yeah.
Scott, you're
You
in.
can see the ugly git on screen now. Right, let's go back to
Oh,
full
there you go.
page.
Yeah, that's better. Get rid of that quick.
Yeah, don't want to see too much of that. Right.
Sorry.
Hiya, Scott. Welcome.
Oh, yeah. How are you today? Oh, I ain't done this earworming for such a long time. It's like, get myself into it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not cutting too bad.
Well, I'm brand new too, Scott, so we'll kind of you
Hold
can
hands
keep me
together.
right.
Right.
Have we said hello to the chat yet?
We did. I read out who was in the participants list. So
That's one dead chisel. Let's go for another one.
Did you not sharpen them, Dad?
Yeah, it's the CA.
well, that's he's blaming the sea anyway, Scott.
God, that one's even blunt to start with. I thought I'd got them all sharp. Let's try
Prior
that one.
preparation, you know.
Yeah. It's not cutting the wood too bad, but subjecting to CA. Where the CA is firing against my finger, it's just like bullets coming off.
It would appear that Steve Scott's having trouble with BT. There's a surprise. I have BT for everything, and it's a bit of a nightmare, to be honest.
We swapped from BT and went to SSE for our internet, and it's just as bad.
So I don't think there's any
Yeah.
better than the rest. Right, I am going to need to
At the end of the
fill
day,
some
Scott,
of
it's all
these.
coming through the same cables.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've got there's a new community fibre. I think they're called Hey Broadband coming to Horsham,
yeah.
All right.
and they're starting to put cables in the ground. So once they're around here, then I might look at them.
Yeah, that happened in a little village not far from here called Dundrum.
Yeah,
They got, I can't remember who it was, but it was a company, I think it was Fibrous. They're taking it into people's front door, so it is making a big difference to them. There's no doubt.
the Pete Twisted Trees is saying, "Damn, just hit a stone with my skew." Ooh.
Oh, ouch.
Jennifer's just joined us. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, good afternoon, Jennifer.
Welcome everyone to Tuesday afternoon at the Funny Place. We're all in this together.
The funny place or the funny farm?
Oh, funny farm, more like it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Now you've
Six of
joined
one,
us.
half a dozen the other.
Yeah. Now Scott's here. It is the funny farm, but still.
Hey, look, I'm having therapy and I'm starting to feel better. So,
Yeah.
Well, we're all glad to hear that, Scott, I have to say.
yeah, there's other stuff going on at the moment that I'm not going to go into until we
Yeah,
know exactly what we're dealing with my wife. But yeah, things are on the up. I'm not going to do some lives for the time being, but I am going to stick out some regular videos.
Excellent. Good.
Well, I don't know whether you guys can see where the bark is missing, so I'm not going to go right down. I won't finish this live today because I thought I'd got that jammed in there tight and filled up with CA, but I haven't. So
you'll always get some little bits that pull back out anyway. I
Yeah.
found that when any time I've tried that kind of filling, it's yeah, you have to do it again, I suppose.
Yeah,
No big
more
deal.
there than what I bargained for. But hey ho.
Could
So
always try
this
some
is
milliput in there.
yours. What?
Could always try some milliput in there.
Wrong colour. Look bloody horrible. It's
What,
too.
the
Yeah,
terracotta
the
one?
browny red.
Yeah.
Too red. So that's a bit of a shame. Because I don't want to take any more off of that because I've only got 5 mil of wood there. So I've got to leave that. Let's take a bit more off the inside here. Again, I want to leave the faceplate ring on to the last minute so that I can finish round the back.
Are you alright if I put the link into my new channel, Dad?
Yeah,
Just in case anyone hasn't subscribed. I did a premiere last night, but I only had 13 people in, so it'd be nice to get some more in next time.
it's a bit last minute though, wasn't it? So
Yeah, I set it out yesterday morning, but you
Yeah.
know, I sat indoors this morning editing. It's too cold out here.
I was in Scott, so I was
Yeah,
one
I
of your
saw
13.
I've got my troll back as well.
There's a comment there from Pete Twisted Trees. I find the base of 30-minute epoxy under the bark and CA over the top gives me the best results for that sort of thing.
Oh,
right.
That sounds like a good bit of advice, Pete. Thank you for that.
Well, I haven't got any 30-minute CA epoxy, but I've got plenty of CA. So ironically, from the top, it looked good.
Yeah, comment from Colin at Wood Wizardry there. He said he watched a bit of your video last night, Scott. He says, you bet that oak cost a bomb.
It did, and I don't know why I give it to my daughter as the first, but she did well, and she
She
wants
did,
to
aye.
do more. So, do you know what?
It was worth every penny.
No.
Happy days was right.
Yeah. She's messaging, when I come back from uni, can I come in the workshop and do some more? Yeah.
Perfect. If only I could get my son interested.
See, my son did a cord pull and a pen about 2 years ago, and we do kids' days down at the Amberley Museum.
Yep.
And he's been down there and done that, but I just can't get him interested.
Yeah. Mine's too interested in computer games. That sort of
Yeah, that's what mine does.
role-playing stuff that they talk about nowadays. I've no idea what they're doing, but
Yeah.
all above my head.
Well, we had to buy him a new computer last week for his schoolwork.
All right. Yeah.
And now
Thankfully,
he's
mine,
constantly in his room.
yeah. Thankfully, mine. My son's 28 now, so he's not at school anymore. He works, but he's off on holiday currently, and I haven't seen him for 2 days. And he lives just up the stairs.
Comes down for tea, and that's about it.
That's just exactly right. You have to ring the bell for his dinner, and then he comes down, gets his dinner, and disappears again. But that's the way it is.
I can't moan because my son's obviously doing the school homeschooling. They had to do food tech at home.
Yep.
So we just had a cooked lunch, which was quite nice. Some meat
Very
in the
good.
risotto would have been good, but they're doing vegan and vegetarian things at the moment.
I tried the whole.
Maximum that I can get over with the little 10 mil bowl
There you go.
gouge. Right, what am I
Getting
gonna
close to that ring now.
Ah, we have been invaded by the French, and Basile has joined. Hi, Baz.
Bez.
Oh,
What's
Baz.
it like out in Frogland today? Is it good? I see you got your heater fixed. So there's no excuse not to be able to do anything, mate. Let's see if I can skim this down a bit tighter.
Not wanting to offend any of the vegans that we might have watching. I tried the whole vegan thing for, I gave it 12 months, but I gave up in the end. I like my meat. I like meat too much.
Yeah, I've got 2 vegan daughters, or had 2 vegan daughters. The eldest went vegan first about 5-6 years ago. But she's now discovered her love of cheese again, so she's not eating meat, but she's back on cheese. Ian Leonard's just joined. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Afternoon, Ian.
So we have a question. Does Baz spend 14 days in a hotel quarantine when he joins a live?
No, he's got long distance
Yeah,
broadband.
I tell you, these hotels are going to start making a fortune once that comes in, aren't they?
Cool. Ridiculous, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. Just
No,
close the borders completely, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
that would
It
be
works
the
in-
most sensible thing.
Steve Templeboy's just joined. Good afternoon, Steve.
No,
Hello,
Steve.
Steve.
He's taken a break from homeschooling. Cool, that's got to be like a home from home, isn't it? Steve's a TA for a living, let alone homeschooling.
Yeah. I just pinged you an email earlier on, Steve, asking if you'd pop me back in for the next 3 Thursdays to cover for Scott.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do videos for the time being until things at home get sorted.
Yeah.
What time are you doing on Thursday? Keith?
7:30.
Oh, in the evenings.
Yeah.
All right.
7:30.
I'm going to try and still do something on Thursday lunchtimes.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
For now.
Yeah, I think. Steve said he did it straight away, Keith, and it's all done.
Oh, well,
there
thank
you
you. Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, I think now Steve SK has got this big job on.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be doing.
No, he can't do anything on Thursday at lunchtimes. He can't do them. So
No.
I'm going to fill in temporarily while he's working. So we'll see how that goes.
If I can get this so that the light don't shine off it too much. Let's go on to a different camera. Above 2.
Forking Hours has just joined. Good afternoon.
Bloody mouse don't like working out in the cold.
Feed it, mate.
Good afternoon,
Yeah.
FKO.
What's that? That's above.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Richard.
Don't want that one. I want this one.
Yay.
Oh, come on. No.
Pete says all this homeschooling and entertaining lockdown kids makes me glad I'm old.
Yeah.
Me too, Pete.
I'm lucky. I've only got one to deal with
At the moment. Right. Can you see that very well on that camera? There's
Lift it up a little bit. Yeah, that's better.
There's quite a bit where my finger is that are missing
Oh, yeah.
filler. So I don't want to go any further.
Sloppy work, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
No, it's jammed in there what I thought was tight, but hey ho, it obviously wasn't.
If it's turning pretty fast and the chisel hits it, it'll pull it back out. If it's not, well stuck.
So I think.
So Lawrence is from Malta. He says the weather here is not so bad, just sometimes a bit windy.
Malta.
Yeah, it is down here at times, a bit windy.
Yeah,
usually after a curry though.
Especially in your camper van, mate.
No, not in a confined space. No.
2 of us in a camper.
I posted a little thing on Facebook today about the fart. So it's maybe worth reading if you have a look on my Facebook page.
I read it, but I
Yeah.
I couldn't decode the language.
Oh, come on. It's only Scottish.
Exactly.
I'll have to have a look later.
Yeah. Right.
You have to get the right Scottish accent to read it with, of course. That's the thing.
Yeah, we're after
Cheers,
this.
Steve. So Steve has said he's replaced you, Keith, with my schedule for the foreseeable future. until
Okay.
it's told different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Right. So as soon as I don't really want to go any further on that other bit, I'm going to start a second bit today, so that at least it makes it worthwhile for you guys popping in, and you've got something to.
You're not short of wood in that workshop.
I'm getting a bit low.
How can you get low?
Well, the poker bill keeps coming over and taking stuff.
He said that with a straight face too. I know.
Yeah. I noticed he said the Pope-mobile.
Yeah.
It hasn't been over for a little while.
No. Right.
It's off the
Go
road
back
at
to
the moment.
different camera.
Oh, Barry's at the Burnie again.
Oh. Bloody bloke. He's addictive to a bit of
He's
flame.
a fire starter, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think we should rename him like Fat Boy Slim or something. He was the one that did fire starter, wasn't he?
Oh, come on. 2.
Can't answer that, Scott. Don't know. I remember the song.
Benjamin. Yeah,
And the video.
Benjamin just joined.
Afternoon,
Hello, Ben.
ladies. Afternoon, Ben.
Is that a bit of burl, you, Dad?
No, well, there's a bit of burr to it. You can see there.
Yeah. I know
There's
it's
a
starting.
hell of a. That section there is a branch from there to all the way around there. So I'm hoping it doesn't come out and I end up wearing it.
There we go. See, it's the Prodigy that did Firestarter.
That's right.
Douglas Mungham says, Scott, sounds like you need to pay a visit and make Keith some more space. I haven't got any space for anymore at the moment. I need to step away from the scroll saw and do some more turning.
I've got a barrow load going out in a little while. Tony the taxi is coming over to pick up a load on his way back down from Croydon.
Pete Kelly's saying he'll have to play a visit.
He's a bloody nuisance, that bloke.
Hiya, Pete, how are you?
Popping over.
That sounded like an invite to me, Peter. I think you should just go.
And Steph says he finished his YouTube clock challenge last night. All kinds of Bernie in it.
No, that's not the clock challenge. That's the fire challenge. That Tornage Dubois did. That's a fire challenge.
A fire challenge?
Yeah. Well, the subject of the challenge was fire. So.
Oh.
Bit high.
Yeah, just could use your imagination then, I suppose.
Right, as normal, I'm my usual method, rather than pushing the chisel across level, and I haven't got a camera that really shows it, I drop my tool right the way down, pointing at the ground, pointing up at about 30 degrees. I'm using the back wing as a slicing cut. So
yeah, Steve, the fill around the inserts broke out. So Keith's going to redo that, and then we'll finish it.
Yeah.
So he started another project with a bit of you.
So it'll be part 3 next week, hopefully. I won't do it off camera. I'll do it as a part of the project.
And Pete said he was told he's always welcome.
He is. Anyone's welcome, as long as they got a bit of money in their pocket.
Or a few beers.
Do I? I don't drink beer, do I? Oh yes, I do. I'd forgotten.
Occasionally, obviously, just occasionally.
Right. Don't eat. You. It's not nice. On marks. Go on.
Someone brought me some sides of a pine wardrobe, a pine cabinet the other day, and asked me to make them a fish tank stand out of it. And they also left a bottle of Jack Daniels. So I don't know, you know, am I meant to drink the Jack Daniels before I do it? Do they want it wonky? Or is that to recover afterwards?
It's probably to recover afterwards.
Well, I think it's probably just to keep you warm in the shed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly warm your insides anyway.
Just if I can keep this piece in, which
That's
I
pretty.
doubt. Yeah, which I doubt. It's full of purple. But we'll watch and see. That's why it's blunting the tool. I've got a tool for that. Now, I don't know how many people were in Mark's live last night. There was a comment come up about redwood. Someone asked, is it available? What's it like for turning? And most in the chat knew nothing much about it. I think Pete, Twisted Pete, made a comment. I can't remember. I was not totally with that because I was doing something else at the same time. So it was on in the background. Yeah, that's going to come out. That's going to come out. It's flexing now.
You know, put some CA in there.
No, it's too big. I'm in two minds whether to try and break that out to salvage that bit of wood. So we've got a natural edge there.
Mike the Midnight Joker's in.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Mike. I think that was a wise decision.
Oh yeah, that would have hurt.
That was the branch, but that's the purple inside. So I think we can save that bit of purple for another project.
Pete's asking, how's the house sign doing? Is it soaking up the oil?
Yes. Yeah. So going back to the little yarn that I started about redwood. Is there any redwood trees in the UK? Well, we have sequoia over here, which is the one of the giant redwoods. And that turns an absolute dream, providing you have a sharp chisel, because some of the growth rings on that can be half an inch apart. It can grow up to half an inch a year, is what I'm saying. What was that? Oh. Wobbly wobbly. That'll do. So most of you have heard of Wakehurst Place, the National Seed Bank, the Millennium Seed Bank. At Christmas, they decorate their tallest tree on the estate, which coincidentally is a giant redwood sequoia.
The pilots use that at Gatwick, didn't they, at Christmas?
Yeah, as they're coming into land at Gatwick, coming over the south coast, apparently they can see it from 4 or 5 miles off of the south coast when they're coming in that way. So they use it as a beacon, welcoming beacon.
I might have to make a few phone calls, Dad. Because I know someone that's pretty high up at Wakehurst Place now.
Right.
See if they cut any, whether we can...
But usually it's only branches, and the branches that I've turned were up to about 2 inches diameter.
Kate, could you have a look at the camera, because we can only see about 2/3 of that bowl.
Which one am I on? That one.
We can't see you when you go off the left-hand end of your tool rest. We can't see your tool. Maybe
because
need to
it's on
pull
the
the
floor.
camera out a little bit.
You can
Yeah.
you can see enough.
That's better. That's better there now.
There's no wood
I
over
just
there
moved.
anyway.
Yeah, the
Yeah, so anything that's 2 inches above is useful for turning. And for those that have turned branch U, you know what branch U is like. You've got the colour in the centre, and then you've got the white sapwood. Well, sequoia is much like that. It's
so
a lot more fibrous, and
Yeah.
you really need to turn it and finish it straight off the chisel if you can. I know that's not always feasible.
Paul Smith
But
joined.
Hello, Paul. But it is quite a nice wood for turning.
Afternoon,
And-
Paul. Good job. You're in the
It
corner.
does look very impressive. What's he looking at?
I feel a wood trade's coming on. The eldest boyfriend's mum is like one of the high up managers there,
All right.
and his dad wants some, or his stepdad wants some olive wood. So if they can get me some sequoia, I might be able to acquire him some olive wood. Yes,
I've
Andy,
got,
the big tree at Wakehurst.
Yeah.
It is impressive.
Paul Smith has been a naughty boy. Is he in the corner? He should be if he's only just popped in. We usually give him 25 minutes to half an hour.
Yeah, he went
before they
straight to the he went straight to the corner himself. He knows what's going on. So
Yeah.
5 minutes in the corner, and then he can come back out. You'll be all right.
Pete Twisted Trees is saying that Western Burt Arboretum is worth a visit.
Yeah.
If in the area. They experiment with different trees for disease resistance and global warming changes. They quite often have locally grown non-native timber. And they have
Getting
a
down there
sawmill.
the right time. Yeah. Well, I did virtually have that set up to demonstrate down there about 6-7 years ago. And I can't quite remember why, but
There's an arboretum down there, Dunsfold, isn't there?
Yeah, that's Winkworth over there.
So Pete says when you visit West Brit Arboretum, take your money because they have a sawmill.
Yeah.
Don't take a chainsaw.
You got to have a chainsaw first to take them.
Well, this is true, of course.
Yeah.
I have two.
I'm banned.
Not saying he's dangerous, but he's not safe.
Is it? Yeah.
My brother-in-law.
Dangerous or clumsy? I don't know. Heavy-handed?
So, Gerard, the French turner's asking, my brother-in-law cut some trees in his garden and gave me 3 branches of hawthorn and 2 of hornbeam. Are they worth turning, wet or dry?
I wouldn't race for the hawthorn.
Splits like the very double.
Yeah.
I have lots of it that I cut down end of last year. Took it straight in, cut it into small sections, sealed the ends, still split. Still split. Almost impossible. It does turn wet.
Yeah. Turns quite nice wet, but it doesn't stop it from not splitting though.
No.
Pete's saying you would have met if you'd gone down to the arboretum because he's demonstrated there a few years in a row.
Right.
And Chris Stubbs is him. Hi,
Hello,
Chris.
Good afternoon, Chris.
Yeah, I believe they used to have a craft weekend down there, a craft event down at the Arboretum.
I can't wait for COVID to be over to get back to craft weekend.
Yeah, there was a couple of us going to go down and do a little bit of demonstrating, but I can't think for the life of me what the issue was.
Doug Miller's having to go. Hate to do it, but I have to go, Keith. I'll watch it back later today. Thank you.
You're not meant to be eating it, Dad.
I know.
It's it's not good for you, partner.
It's quite hard. And just looking at it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 branch exits on the outside of it. I'll see if I can get a little bit of shave into it. Get
That'll be a pretty
closer.
piece.
Yeah, get a bit closer. It won't be quite so bad.
Right.
Ian in the shed, Tim? Hi, Ian.
Hello, Ian.
Good afternoon, Ian.
For the late arrivals that were expecting to see part 2 of last week's, unfortunately, that will be part 3 next week.
And Barry's Woodturning, Jim.
Hello, Barry. Only because the filler that I put in didn't go deep enough and has left too many voids to go any further with the turning.
So good
I know an
afternoon,
expert.
Barry. And we
I know
have
an expert in wood filler and wood turning. Dad?
You know one, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He puts it in his competition pieces.
yeah, yeah. I
We
think I
have,
know who you're on about.
you have 49 watching.
Oh, well done,
you've been going
guys.
for and you've been going for 36 minutes, Keith.
Feels like an hour. Having to swap quarter of an hour in didn't help.
Yes, Ian, you need to go and stand in the corner. 5 minutes in the corner, and then you can come back out again.
Yeah.
As long as your name's not Baby, because no one puts Baby in the corner.
No.
Yeah. If I can keep some of that out of my mouth. I know not talking helps, but that's not me.
So, Guy Prouton said he's finished his clock. And
So what's the
video is
time then,
posted.
Di?
So you do not too bad after only 6 hours sleep and 72 hours.
Yeah, is that what you were out chasing cuckoos through the woods the other night in Di?
Ian said, "Is that Scott I heard earworming?"
It is indeed. Ian.
I'm not very good at that masked singer, am I? It is.
Can't be lucky all the time, Ian.
I was dragged out of the closet, kicking and screaming.
John N., you are late. Oh dear. You'll have to stand in the corner for 5 minutes.
Put John in the corner.
Well, welcome, John.
No, we'll let John off. We'll let John off.
No, okay.
What's he got that you want then?
No, John's just been really supportive with my new channel, so
Yeah, I know he is. I saw him in there.
we'll let him off. And I'm in a good mood. Just had the
Yeah.
laser fly delivery.
I hope the guys in the chat are all subscribed to me, if you wouldn't mind, please. I'm not so much worried about you liking it, what I'm doing, but it's a bonus if you do.
Well, let's have a look here. Circular Wood by Steve has 186 subscribers currently, so cruising on up there towards 200.
Yeah,
share
no
it
new
out,
ones
guys.
today then.
And
If you
Ian
could
says,
share
how
that
come
out.
he stands in the corner and John doesn't? I'll tell you what, I'll let you off, Ian, as well.
Oh, you're getting too soft, Scott.
That's what a couple of days off for you does.
Scotty's in a good mood today.
Good, glad to hear that.
Even though my scroll store project for today is the Grouchy Smurf.
I have a bowl on my lathe at the minute, currently.
Funny enough, so have I.
I can see that. Strangely enough, I can see yours.
The little lathe's out of action. The little lathe I was given to try and make 2 out of 1 has got the same problem as the other lathe.
Oh,
And the big lathe's got the spray booth on it, so
no turning.
no turning. There will be though.
Mm.
My little lathe that I replaced is sitting on the bench over there, looking kind of forlorn.
It's a shame that we lost that branch, or we took that branch out, because there's no wood just there. There's only 2 mil, 1.5 mil between that and nothing. So the branch that was ripped out just gripped on that bit.
No, 14 hours. Paul was only in the corner for 5 minutes. He should have been out long ago.
Yeah. At least it's the corner and not the naughty step.
Yep.
Mind you, that nanny woman that did the naughty step, you know.
Yeah, I've seen her on.
I'd
Super
quite
nanny.
happy. Yeah, I'd quite happy let her put me on the naughty step.
I couldn't possibly comment on that, Scott.
Oh. Steve Templeboy's doing maths this afternoon by the looks of it.
We can count on him then, can we?
I don't even know how they teach maths in school now.
Certainly don't teach it the way they taught me it in school, that's for sure.
No, or me. My son was trying to do algebra the other day, and I'm used to be really good at maths at school. I couldn't get it for love nor money.
That's good news from Pete. He's managed to fix his skew.
Hey.
But there's about 3 millimetres off his life, he said. Oh, no, I'll read that again. He says it has about 3 mil of life left before it's too short to sharpen. Oh dear.
Convert it into a scraper then, Pete.
Where was that?
And invest in a new one.
Isn't it? Steve Scott is saying, learning all the time, Keith, especially how you deal with that crap.
Yeah, so am I on this one, Steve. It's perhaps wasn't
Ben,
the best choice for a live.
Yeah. Ben, I wanted to start afresh, so I deleted the channel and I'm starting from scratch. New name, videos, new me. Steve's saying, I wished I'd be happy doing this, or just so out of it he wouldn't care.
Podge is trying to stir the pot a little bit there with that comment. Or possibly a captive ring tool.
But aren't they for just looking, you know, just for looking pretty captive ring tools?
Well, I don't think Pete from Twisted Trees will be having one anytime soon.
And you won't be the only one.
I brought one not long after I started turning, about got to be getting on for 5 years ago now. Because at the time I thought it was a beading tool. I'm just trying to make beads with it. Now I know what it does. It just sits on the wall, collects dust.
It's a shed ornament. We all have some of them.
Lawrence has just turned his first cannon for a model part of HMS Victory.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good, Lawrence.
Pete Twisted Trees saying new Scott, but if you pop over and subscribe, it'll be the same, which is good. Nice to have people back. Tony Foster saying thanks for the Keith. Thanks for the blankets, Keith. We'll catch you soon.
Thanks, Tony. I thought I heard you outside a little while ago. It was pre-arranged. That's Tony the Taxi, for those that don't know. One of his nicknames.
Pete's saying free the captive rings. Keep them captive.
Keep them captive.
It's both immoral and very silly. You know, I'll have to have a go at doing a captive ring.
What was that last comment?
I said I'll have to have a go at doing a captive ring.
Waste of time. The first kid that picks it up will break it.
Then I'll get good to that. Anyway, who said about taking it to a show, mate? I'll put it in a display case. I've done one then. Didn't say I was going to do any more than one.
I've got one on the shelf indoors, but the captive ring is about 1/4 inch diameter. Quite fat.
Richard's RJK Skinwood saying, I don't have a captive ring tool, but if I do get one, you can bet I won't be telling you lot. And Harry's telling Hodge that he despises captive rings as well. Mike's trying to wire up a liberated ring in his tensegrity goblet, fiddly as hell.
So it's making me a arm ache. Gosh, there's some colour in this, guys.
It's pretty.
Purple up through there.
Are you going for a CA finish on that?
I thought I might give it a go. See how.
Just thought I'd get it in there, you know.
Oh, there's always one.
Well, I've got to be a bit careful because that section is another branch from all the way through. So at the moment, it's sort of stuck on by about that much. So I don't think I'm going to go much thinner on that. Just got this edge to sort out.
And Ben saying there's only one use for a captive ring, a baby's rattle. I've never turned one of them.
They break them straight away. They break them. You're far better off doing a hollow form and filling it with rice. Hollow form sealed up. The little buggers can't get at it. Captive ring, they'll end up eating it. And you'll get moaned at. He's broken his tooth, which hasn't come through yet. Something to pick that out. Don't know how.
I better turn that heater off before I get wound at.
Again.
Don't talk.
Oh, I can't not tell, Brian. We got one of those new smart meters with the thing in.
Oh, disaster!
Yeah,
I
only get shouted out. I only get shouted out once every 3 months now. So I'm not having one of those smart meter things.
Oh, I didn't want one, but we had to have one because like the meter was changing. They said they only fit them.
Yeah, well,
Do you know you've used £17 worth of electric since Thursday? Workshop's been nice and toasty though, love.
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably warmer in here when that's on than it is in the house.
No,
I think
Keep
definitely.
saying that. Better off taking the advice of the television adverts. Keep away from children.
Yeah.
Don't work with animals or kids.
That's one of my policies these days, Pete. Stay away from children. Germ spreaders, that's all they are.
See, I'm quite looking forward to having grandkids. Because then I can feed them full of sugar and then just give them back. And then go, no, that's what we have to split up with you.
Guy Prout says he spends £10 per day on electricity.
Ouch. That's a lot.
That's what I was thinking.
I'd be getting solar panels or a wind turbine or something.
This is my third chisel on this bit.
Thank you, Doug.
I'm not saying it's hard, but it ain't very soft either.
And Richard's saying he got a smart meter and discovered that his old meter had been overcharging by 35%.
Well, that was a good save.
That'd be a nice little rebate.
Yeah, you'll be lucky if you get a rebate.
Yeah, you can't prove it once they've taken it out.
They sent us one when we went over to a smart meter. And it's that embarrassing. It's that embarrassing. I haven't even put the check in the bank for £3.
Yeah. Talking about silly checks, the Electricity Supply Board in Northern Ireland sent me a check for 1 penny.
Really?
And that's because we have a main electricity transmission line cuts across the corner of one of our fields. It's not even in our field, it's 50 feet in the air. But they sent me 1 penny because it crosses our land.
Which they're entitled to do, and you're entitled to claim it.
Which is crazy. But 1 pence at the end of the day in a check. So the check costs more. Crazy stuff.
So,
Question from Douglas Murnham. Keith, could you zoom out a bit, please?
Which one am I on? I'm on that one. Got a manual zoom.
Mark Pritchard saying, I'd like to thank me and all the ambulance crews out there for what they're doing at the moment. That's everyone in the NHS. It's not just us.
It's about the best I can do, Douglas.
The staff in A&E are absolutely rammed at the moment.
They are indeed.
My
next door neighbour works in a hospital too, and they're tortured completely. It's terrible. Hands up, and huge round of applause for everybody who works in the health service.
What else we got? Andy H is saying his daughter moved in with husband 3 year and a 3-year-old before Christmas. Promptly gave birth to a second child. She should be moving into a new house soon. Saying that's a combined fuel bill.
Oh.
It's an old house with a tall hall, stairs and landing, so as you open the door, the heat goes. And Pete Twisted Trees, he says he's banned from overnight babysitting of the grandchildren. Apparently chocolate fingers, ice cream and ice gems are not suitable for breakfast. Oh, I would have said they were.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh dear.
And Hodge is saying...
more decide marks.
Yeah, Hodge is asking the question. He's saying, Keith, are you concerned that crack appears to go across the bowl?
Not at the moment, Hodge. We'll see what it looks like once I start interfering with the outside, the inside. See how deep it is.
Clive is saying that's allowed, Pete, according to the grandparent manual.
Right, let's get rid of some of those. Let's find something that's sharp. That's a new one.
I did it when my brother had kids because I was the first one to have kids. So my brother used to have my son, and would feed him full of chocolate. Would buy him all the noisy Christmas presents. So as soon as he had a son, I bought the kid a drum kit for Christmas.
Brilliant. The very thing.
I'll get you back.
That's karma.
Yeah. Karma is a dish best served cold.
I don't want to do that, do I? No. What did you do it for then? Because you're a bloody idiot. Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it. You only talk to yourself at times.
So Steve's saying, gotta love kids' ways of thinking. Jane had 9 licorice sweets. She gave you 4. How many sweets does she have left? Robbie's answer, 9, because I ate licorice. Brilliant. Licorice is like Marmite, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
Can't say I ever liked it. Even as a child, I didn't like it. So
No, I'm not.
Right. For those of you not seen this tool before, homemade, it replicates the angle of the jaws. So I can just go in there and give it a quick scrape. Hopefully get it about right so that it fits in the jaws. So we've got maximum gripping. So just mark the middle. A couple of rings. Because 2 is better than anything else.
James Castor saying, I had a new build house. Our plot was number 6. When they finished it, the build was listed as house number 2. They managed to get all the house meter in numbers wrong and had free gas and electric for 3 years. I bet they soon chased that up, though.
Yeah.
Having fitted meters for a living for 8 months. I know what
I'm going. I've got Drilly's cousin. We're going to see what we can do. It's a little bit ringed. Hopefully that'll come off.
why can I hear the Jaws music in my head?
No, Steve. I think that's a brilliant answer.
Not bad, Dad, for letting Robbie give that as an answer.
I think that's showing using initiative.
Yeah, it's a bit like there's 10 crows on the fence out there. If I shoot one, how many are left? None.
Thank you.
How did you get that out then? Well, they all flew off when I fired the gun.
Depends which gun you used, doesn't it? If you used a shotgun, the shot's going to probably take them all out. Seth saying, not at all, Steve. Keep his imagination alive. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of kids out there nowadays that don't have very much imagination.
A bit like some of the parents, isn't it? I think
But the thing is, they're not. Kids nowadays don't go out and do like we did as kids. I was never indoors.
No, you weren't allowed half the time, but you were never indoors. I think I'm going to see if I can get one more pass, because I've got some tool rings around there that are a bit too deep to sand out. See if we can get a bit more volume on it.
Douglas Mung is saying, I did it wrong. I got my niece a Cadbury's cream egg when she was 4 to 5, and her dad had a cream-coloured suit. Guess where the egg ended up?
Perfect.
You only did it the once though, Douglas.
And Ben wants to know, Keith, do you find the square pads beneficial, or are you just tight?
Why cut the corners off? I cut the
Was I-
corners off. My square
what-
pads come on a 50-metre roll. They look like that when they're nearly run out. So
Forking Hours wants to know, Scott, were you always in the doghouse? Most of the time as a kid. I used to nick my dad's tools. Where we grew up, there was a factory estate just the other side of. There was like a little green fieldy bit, and then woods. So we used to jump over the fence in the factory estate, nick the pallets, build camps and stuff. And then your dad would go, "Where's this?" Over the camp. Where's that? Over the camp. The Seth was saying as a kid he was either playing music, riding horses, or riding his go-kart. You can keep the horses.
yeah, let Brian have the horses.
I'll keep mine, thank you. Nothing wrong with horses.
I got thrown off at the age of 14 and I've never got on one since.
That's because you got on the wrong horse. That was your fault. That was your fault. That was your fault. Yeah, you shouldn't have been kicking it in the first place, but no matter.
It wouldn't go through the street. It's funny, when I do polo, I have to make sure that they've got hold of the horse before I go on the pitch.
I'm afraid you get run over.
A friend of mine has got 22 horses. And she keeps saying, "Oh, come over, I'll give you riding lessons, we'll put you in the sand school, we'll get you over your fear." Yeah, all right.
Peter Kelly said he'd rather ride his motorbike. Not as much fun, though, I don't think. Motorbikes are really predictable, horses are not.
Guy's saying dens and catapults when he was young. But as he grew up, that becomes sheds and shotguns.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm happy with that shape. And another question that came up last night was, particularly to Mark, your lathe takes a long time to slow down. He had got a 14-inch, 13.5-inch lump of elm on it.
On a Reeves drive.
On a Reeves drive. Well, that makes very little difference. What it is, he's only got a single-phase motor on there. This one's got a 3-phase motor, bar an inverter, so it's got a phase shutdown of 5 seconds. You can't stop it by hand, but it will shut down in 5 seconds. I can either set it to 5 or 15. 15's a bit long-winded.
Never ride a horse, they're unpredictable.
Yeah.
You know, my wife rides, all 3 girls ride.
I'm starting to agree with Pete now, because he grew up with horses. He swapped them for motorbikes because they're easier to leave in the garage over winter. Because every day this winter I've been up at the fields in the morning first thing, no matter what the weather is, to feed and muck out horses.
Steve is saying, we had a huge water storage tank that had been dumped. We dragged it into the woods, turned it upside down using some amazing child ingenuity, and then cut a door in it and turned it into a clubhouse. It's a cool idea.
Right, now I'm going up to 240.
I remember building an igloo one Christmas when it snowed. Till it fell down on us all. Guy's saying he's got a couple of springers, Colin. They both need a full service before they can shoot them again.
That's not too bad. I think this is going to get hard wax oil on it because of all the inclusions there. So I'm going to sand up to 400, which is what this pad is.
Pete's saying his silly big bowl that he did took 5 to 6 minutes to stop spinning after shutting off the power.
Right.
Basically, I left it running until I finished.
Yeah, well, with this being a three-phase motor, it works as a brake as well.
Once COVID's over, I'll have to come over, Dad, and we'll have to put that big lump of apple I've got on your big loaf. You can help me.
Yeah.
It's got some cracks and bits in it. I want to turn it, but
You're not man enough on your own.
I don't think Beast is man enough, and yeah. I'd like some help or advice.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that finish.
I just
Well,
noticed a
amazing.
comment from. I just noticed a comment from James Cassidy there. He said, "Sorry, I can't agree. Much more exciting travelling at speed on a motorbike." Then I thought the maximum speed limit in the country was 70 miles an hour anyway. So
That don't stop some bikers, though, does it?
yeah, don't we know?
It's the speed they got outside of me on the 29. The 29 that is ridiculous at times.
The
We're
block
not
and
there
tackle
full-
we made to lift the tank was made out of a broken skateboard and an electrical U-bar. We let go at some point and sent my mate up the trees. Yeah, I was
Just going to put an edge on this.
I was late for work the other day, so I was tickling the speed limit, shall we say?
Just over. Mind you, it's a smart motorway now, isn't it? So you can't do too much over it.
And this bike flew past me easily 120, if not more.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, well said, James. Brian, I shall not say the top speed I've reached on two wheels. That might be an admission of guilt, I think.
Right, turn the speed down and see what we can get out of this.
We did that. My mate had a Audi RS6 estate, and we finished work one morning at 3 o'clock, and we took it out for a drive. He all let us have a go, and then some posted a YouTube video with one of us bottling out at 165. I won't comment who did. My knuckles were white.
Pete from Twisted Trees question, where did all the pram wheels we used to make go-karts out of come from in the 1960s?
Yeah.
We don't get
Some-
prams now, do they?
Some of those big fancy wheels on the old-fashioned prams, the big wheels at the back, the small wheels at the front, or small air wheels at the front, they were good for making carts. Or as they're called in Edinburgh, guiders.
Bit of wood as a brake, or you
Yeah,
front of your
wood for a
shoes.
break. Yeah, your soles of your feet. Rubbing on the front tyre, trying to stop.
We're on the pavement. Thinking I will stop.
Steve Scott said he used to ride speedway and grass track bikes with no brakes. He's got more sense now. Well, sometimes.
Yeah, Steve, I used to ride horses a bit like that, but I don't anymore.
There we go. Silver Cross Trams.
That's the ones, yeah, that was them.
Yeah. Worth a small fortune now.
And Steve is saying the sad thing is the woods are now an industrial estate full of unused abandoned factory units. I can only hope that you're using them for dens now.
Ooh.
Where I grew
So
up in
Pete-
Birchill, there was an industrial unit that was abandoned, and kids had built a proper skate park in there before they become big. a massive ram, and the council knocked it down just to stop the kids using it.
So there are a lot of people have a need for speed in this chat today. So Pete said he crossed the finish line on a drag strip at 206 miles per hour, and then probably fell off at 190-ish miles an hour. And in his comment, he says, "Got a bruise or two that day."
Yeah, I can imagine.
Lucky. Richard
How
from
many horses have you got?
I have got 2 personally, but I look after another 6. So currently I'm looking after 8 horses.
But that keeps you busy, doesn't it?
Can afford to go a bit
Well,
deeper on
this time of the winter, they're out grazing most of the time, so it's just morning feeding and looking after, and then they're kind of on their own for the rest of the day. Keeps me much busier in the summertime because you have to do something with them.
Yeah, Mike Pritchard saying he'd love a Hayabusa, but his wife says no. Yeah. If I get 2 wheels, I get divorce papers.
Yeah, that's what would happen in my house.
Guy said he did 145 in his Wizard at Santa Pod. And Andy H is saying he did just over 140 in Reliance Imiter. Scary, but fun.
Yeah. How did you get 140 out of a Reliance Imiter? Did you push it down a mine shaft?
There's a big hill.
I think when we were kids, we were clocked at 35 mile an hour on a push bike, 2 wheels, all of us.
And Andy H was saying it was on the M23, so I reckon it must have been he was going southbound on the Handcross Hill before they did all the roadworks.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going much thinner than that, so I'll take the faceplate ring off now. Now it hasn't flown apart, so we should be okay.
Steve says the only thing he got to ride were donkeys at a donkey derby on holiday. The Butlins holiday camp at Rockley Sands.
They lived in the good old days.
Yeah, the excitement we had, eh?
Yeah.
Now we're just sitting in our workshops.
Yeah, moaning.
James says, unfortunately, I had 2 bad accidents in my last year. One was my fault. The other was caused by 3 police cars who were involved in the accident.
I'm chasing him.
My mate races. He's got a really old Yamaha, and he races in the British Underbike. So we go to Brands Hatch to watch. Well, that's my wife.
James has just said, "God, don't we sound like old men?" Yeah, probably. But isn't that what we are? Most of us.
Andy is saying he'd have another one tomorrow, but he couldn't afford it. No, Reliance are just expensive.
What was that? The Robin, Reliant, the Trotter machine.
That's all my granddad had when we grew up. We had the Regal, we had a couple of Rialtos, had a Robin.
Yeah, the motorbike with a cover over it, that's all.
We never had a car licence. I never knew it, kids, Granddad used to come and pick us up on a Sunday morning, go to Sunday school, and we'd all jump in this car, a couple of us in the back of it, and off we'd go. And then it weren't until I think I was 16, when he took his car test. I went, how's he been driving? I didn't realise you could drive Reliant on a motorbike.
Yeah, motorbike licence, yeah. That's why a lot of people had them. That were too old to sit a driving test. And most of them you'll find had driving licence for motorbikes from the army.
I'm just laughing at Pete's comment.
Yeah, I read that.
He got clocked at 50 miles an hour on a horse more than once. Used the wide grass strip along the edge of the road. He says that three-quarter thoroughbred, because that's what three-quarter-bred means, a three-quarter thoroughbred used to really go. And sometimes he would stop occasionally. Yeah, I know the feeling, Pete. I know the feeling.
Steve said, I've never sat on a motorbike. My dad lost 3 of his friends on them. He used to ride huge Triumphs and BMWs. Kind of grew up with him telling us to stay away. That's why he robbed cars.
I did have a motorbike once. A little Kawasaki 250, I think it was. I used it for going back and forward to work. Hated it. It was freezing cold. That was when I lived in Scotland.
We were only talking about Reliance yesterday. We were going through some old pictures with my boy. And I said I'd love to get like a Reliant van like Del Boy had. And I'd just have the blue light turner on the side of it. New York, Paris and Horsham. With the blow up doll in the back.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. You need the blow up doll, of course.
Yeah, what I'd have to do is I'd have to get Keith to sit in the front so it looked like I had Grandad.
No answer to that comment. That can be broadcast at this time of the day. Use my round nose
I've just
skew.
I've just had a thought there. Maybe Wayne the Woodturner would be better for that.
Oh, yeah? Does that make Keith Uncle Albert? Seth saying, as a kid, his dad had a horse he used to tell stories about. He was a previous race horse and almost impossible to stop. He had to put her in a pond one time to stop her from running through a crowd.
Don't often use a negative rate scraper to finish up bowls, but this is not working very well on the chisel. So,
I was going to say, I don't see you use a scraper very often.
no.
Next, you'll be getting out the 40 grit.
What, this?
Mark Pritchard says he's got to get back to it. Thanks, Keith, Brian, and Scott. Take care. Stay safe out there, everyone. See you later, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Take care, Mark.
Right. Just a little bit in the middle here. I think the wood's flexing a bit as I'm trying to whisper over it.
That cracks opening up.
Yeah, I know. No, it's not opening up. It's just showing all the bark.
Oh, James Cassidy, a wood turning question. Keith, back to wood turning. What angle do you have the negative rake set at?
That's that angle. The same as that angle.
That was helpful, Keith.
Yeah, 45, 45. Most people have them 45, 45, don't they?
It's about that because it is actually a round nose skew, which is what I used last Thursday, but it doubles up as a good negative rake scraper.
I don't suppose it really matters.
No, well, it does. You don't want it too sharp, and you don't want it too long. The longer it is, the weaker the end is. So normally there'd be sort of 60 and 30. You try and aim for 90 as the overall measurement of degree. Right, I think I'm just going to need to take a little bit off this outside edge.
Mike Waltnut used 60-30 or something. 60 on the bottom, 30 on the top.
It's still 90 though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head what it, but I think it's something like that.
Just soften that edge a bit.
Clive
Clive,
Rogerson, thanks. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
No, you do it, Brian.
No, you're all right. I'm going to switch my heater off. I'm roasting.
All right. He says he thought that he used 25-45.
Should be more than that because it should equal 90 when you
Yeah.
add them both together, or
James
close
is-
on.
James is about to convert a round nose scraper to a negative rake scraper. Are you feeling all right, Dad?
Yeah, I'm not
I've just
chatting, am I?
I've
Go
just noticed I can see a flaw in your workshop.
Bloody cheek. You're banned.
Gerard's saying that Mike uses 35-35.
Right. That's 70 out of 90, so it's not that far out.
Douglas
Right.
is saying, question, you guys are talking angles. Are they measured off each other?
No, from the face of each face. Well, they are when I do them anyway.
Steve, Temple Boy Turnings. I asked the newbie if they had a scraper they could use to clean up gouge marks in the picture they sent me. Then they sent me a picture of a paint scraper and asked, would that do? Oh, I'm in bits. Stop it. Brilliant. Hodgepodge stays, yeah, I feel I recall a 70 degree included angle.
No, normally it's between it's up to 90 included angles added together.
Not experienced enough to comment and make a definitive answer for that, so I'll bow to anybody else.
It had to be less than 90.
Get in there.
And
What
Pete's
does
saying
Pete from Twisted Tree have to say? It reminds me of the
Pete.
video.
using a cabinet scraper on the lathe.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I've one of
You'll
their.
have to do your pen demo, Dad, with your filling
I did
apps.
it last Thursday.
Oh,
Did
It's
yeah.
on there. It's on there. You go and look at it. It's up on the
I
tubes.
will. I'll have
Up
a
on
look.
the tubes. Yeah, yeah. I've even had my axe polished up.
Hey,
Yeah, it looked rather shiny, I have to say.
Yeah, how about that then?
hey?
Yeah, could almost shave with that. Almost.
I think I'll decline that offer. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to use the blow lamp instead, are you, Brian?
I'll stick to my Mac 3.
You obviously read the Dandy as you were growing up, Pete. Blow Lamp, Desperate Dan.
Yep.
See, that's another thing from childhood. Where's comics nowadays?
Yeah, they all come from Japan nowadays, apparently.
They were too expensive to print. Because if you remember right, Dandy and Beano came out every week.
He did indeed.
Dandy, Beano, Beezer, Lion, Hotspur. Then you got the girls' ones, Jackie, Bunty, Emma. And the only reason I can run these off like that is because I worked for 5 or 6 years for a wholesale company locally, and we had to sort all the comics out. So I don't know whether Linny's still in here. My daughter, she had every comic going and every book that she wanted, she had.
I haven't seen Lynn comment for a little while.
No, she probably won't comment much. Just like Peter says, the price of paper exploded. The
You still get all
local,
these naff magazines, though, didn't you?
yeah, the local wholesalers got priced out when the likes of W.H. Smith wanted to do the whole lot. And who was the other one locally?
Steve's got it right though. He said if the Dandy and the Beano were still in print, they would be banned by the PC Brigade. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think
Too
they
many
still are in print. I think they still are in print.
Yeah, but they won't be like they were they?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
There's
No.
too many snowflakes that get offended.
Yeah.
They're printed in a factory on the Queensway in Dundee. That's where their print work is. And there's a picture, there's a statue of Desperate Dan in the town square, or the sixth square in Dundee. That's a bit of useless information for you.
That's why they're all banned. They're Scottish. No one could understand the language.
Andy said his parents banned them 60 years ago. Gav's just joined. He says, sorry I'm late. I'll be in the corner.
You're bloody right you will. Yeah.
Hour and 25 you've been going, Dad.
Yeah, that's not bad, considering I spent nearly half an hour on the first one before I abandoned it to start from scratch on something that I didn't know what I was doing. And it's not been an easy ride, this one. But we're nearly there. It won't get finished. I won't oil it today.
Are you going to put some CA in that crack before you oil it?
Yeah. So I want to put a little bit in there.
So Clive is saying the key with a negative rake scraper is the angle must be less than 90. If not,
Yeah.
it won't work. For all practical purposes, though, 70 degrees is about as high as you can go for a functioning tool.
That comes from the sharpening handbook. Sake.
Steve saying my parents banned my magazines too, but Mum didn't realise didn't realise I was getting them from under Dad's wardrobe. I'm just saying that we went to the pound shop in Crawley the other day. It's really exciting. That's what I did for my birthday. I went to the pound shop. Woo!
Very good. So Di Proud's having to go. Thanks for the entertainment, guys. I've got to go shopping. Shopping?
Yeah.
You're going shopping for tools, Di.
What tools you buying now then, mate?
Yeah, and the pound shop now sell adult toys.
Oh, God.
What, for £1?
No, £5 I think they were, because it's not everything in there is not a pound now, is it? It's,
No.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get away with calling it Poundland.
Right, it's
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. We walked down the aisle and we got all the Valentine stuff coming out, and there's a whole floor-to-ceiling shelf of adult toys of all different types.
actual fact.
There's not much I can add to that comment, Scott, I'm afraid. Sorry.
That's come up bloody well, considering.
It's a nice looking piece of wood now.
What a smart bit of wood that was to start with. All right, let's go and find a different camera. Oh,
What
yeah,
do you
sorry,
say?
guys.
Why buy adult toys when you can turn them?
You'll have to
I
elaborate on that,
I turned the other week.
You have a hard job adding batteries, though, Hodge.
I think it's camera 2. It can't be.
James is saying if you have old copies or special editions of the Beanos, apparently they're worth thousands.
They are indeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you've got them in mint condition.
Yeah. Let's just dust you off.
Oh!
Oh!
I just tickled your fancy, guys. Bit of haze in here today.
Is that
Yeah,
a
at
new
least
spot?
it's your workshop on fire, though. Oh, it's dust. There we go.
Lift it up.
It's not going to do
There you go.
full justice with the lights that I've got, but you can see why I was a little bit dubious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still a pretty piece.
It's a very nice piece.
Because that
Like it.
transposes right the way through. So the only bit that is solid is the bit across
Just a bit in the middle.
there.
Yeah. Lots of nice comments coming in. Keith looks
Thanks,
a bit.
guys.
Great piece, Keith. Beautiful.
So that piece is.
Nice demo, Keith.
Where the hell is the tape measure? You never find one when you want one, can you? It's over there. That's why.
Pete Twisted Trees is saying most of what I have in my workshop counts as adult toys. Not sure I'd
Yeah.
want a lathe or a bandsaw from the pound shop though.
2 3/4 deep by 300 mil across,
Or 12 inches.
or 12 inches to those that can't convert. It's got about a 12 mil wall through there,
Very good.
thumb and finger, only because I didn't want to lose it on the lathe. What I would do is I will pick off some of this bark at the back, which is sort of half loose and not fully affixed.
I know why
Yeah.
you didn't want it coming off the lathe.
Yeah,
You didn't want it damaging the valves in that radio behind you.
that'd have to be going at a funny angle if it hit that.
Warm them
That,
up.
believe it or not, is
That
about,
should be in the museum, mate.
Oh, hodgepodge, stop it.
yeah, that's an
Well, big-
ITC Euromarine unit. That is about 60 years old and as good today as it was when I bought it. Apart from it's lost its aerial. It didn't fold, apparently.
Nothing an old wire coat hanger won't sort out.
No, and also the battery compartment covers come off. It was one of the first universal mains battery ones. Bought it down in Foy in Cornwall when I first went down
Did it
there.
take the old HP11s or HP7 or whatever they were called?
It took 4 of the, not the biggest fat ones, but the longer, but the slightly thinner ones. Yeah.
I don't have that problem. I have Alexa.
Yeah. Well, it's only in here for the sake of being up there out of the way. Right, guys. What I would do is take some pictures of it after I've oiled it and finished it completely.
John S is saying great demo.
Robert Dolman's off there. He's thanks for the live. Bye all.
Thanks, Robert, for stopping by.
Chris Dodge is looking forward to part number 3.
So am I. I do apologise, guys, but it was just too much filler needed. And
Speaking of adult toys, Hodgepodge has said, put a big enough piece of wood on your lathe and you've got a vibrating bed.
this was vibrating when I first put it on. I think most of it's been turned at about 600.
Nice.
But, you don't need speed. Andy.
James Cassidy, great lunchtime
Hopefully see-
entertainment.
Yeah, hopefully see you guys Thursday night for some spindle work.
Looking forward to that because I need some of that.
Well, I'm not the world's best, but we can talk through it. We can battle each other, I think, and get through it. We have
I can
done.
almost guarantee you're better than me.
Want a worm Thursday night, Dad? Shoot us a link.
Yeah, okay, we'll do, mate. So, I think Brian's worming for me.
Yes, I will, yep.
Yeah, you've already got the link, I think, haven't you?
For
Did I-
Thursday? No. Don't
No,
be starting
perhaps
that one again now. You haven't sent
Perhaps
it
I
yet.
didn't. Perhaps I didn't baffle him by sending the wrong one.
That's his old age, that is.
Cat is acting up again, I think. Steve from Temple Boy. Mine's been awkward at times. Last night I was watching and also doing other things, but you'd get a dozen notifications up on the chat, and then you get nothing, and then it would go mad for another dozen.
Yeah, mine's last thing I've got is James Cassidy saying great lunchtime.
Right.
So,
No,
I haven't got
you're
that
way
one.
behind
I'm
us.
on, I'm on
Richard from
StreamYard,
RJK
rather.
Spinningwood. Thanks, Keith, Brian, and Scott. Good laugh. Take care, everyone.
Well, we're serious, but we can have a laugh at the same time.
Yeah.
Providing what I do is safe, and
Yep.
I think it is. If anyone thinks it's not safe, put it in the chat. I'm quite happily talk to you if you don't think it's safe and I do, and we can have some discussion on it. But I think everything I do is safe.
Your mic's gone funny. You sound like a Dalek.
Yep.
Yeah. Any better?
Yep, that's much better. Yep.
Yeah, and so because I was sort of leaning on the lathe at the time, and I found if I do that or get behind the camera, which is this one,
Interferes.
yeah, it does. It picks up through the camera. Yeah, she's supposed to be working, but she sent some odd bits on YouTube this morning, so I don't think you were working that hard this morning. I got 2 bits before I come down the workshop here. And your mother commented on one. Quite good though, I must admit. So, but yeah, if everyone liked, you what, mate?
I said I can't even see Linny's comment. My chat must have.
Yeah, well, I'm on stream, so I just had Hodge pop up on that.
Yeah. There you go.
You transformed to a robot, Keith. Yeah, I'm sorry, Hodge. BT are buggering about on the landlines and everything. I know it doesn't come through a landline, but it still uses the same. It's the outer or whatever it is. I can't do much about it. It's driving me mad. So is that Thursday's link you put in?
No, that's my channel, mate. Let me.
That's yours, is it?
Yeah, let me
I
get.
haven't seen a link.
No,
My chat must have froze too.
don't think you will because I don't think I've put it up yet.
I will tell you. Let me have a look. Let me go.
It's on. It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube anyway.
Let me go into Mr. Circular by Keith's YouTube.
Yeah.
Your channel.
Nice comment then from Jared, the French turner. Thanks, Keith. Always good entertaining learning. Always good entertainment. Learning a lot each time. See you Thursday night for another lesson. Cheers. Stay safe.
Thanks, Jared.
Nice.
Well, it's what I'm doing. I'm like Gav said, daft, not stupid. Yeah. At the end of the day, if I can pass some bits and pieces on, that's what I want to do. Colin Way's demonstrating on the Xminster Tools YouTube channel at 3. Yeah, he's. I quite like Colwyn. We've had him at club a couple of years ago when we could have a club. He was quite good. He does tend to push his own tools and Axminster. I use anything. I've got. We were using.
There's a link for Thursday night, mate.
Oh, cheers, mate. We've been using everything this morning. House of Turning, 3/4 inch gouge. What's the red one? That's the record power. Been using that. Some of the little gouges. That's a Hamlet. Record power. There's a Hamlet over there. There's a Sorby. I'm not affiliated to any of them. If I clear a workshop and there's some in there, or if I see some that are going for grabs, up for grabs, I'll take it. That one's so old it hadn't even got a label on it. But use what you can. Like I said last Thursday, and I couldn't get at them then, but we were talking about converting screwdrivers, and I showed you one. These 2 used to be in my pen turning kit. It's a round nosed one I've converted scraper. That's just a straight scraper. But we were using what was advertised on eBay 18 months ago as a wood turning tool. It is, in actual fact, an old screwdriver. So what I did on Thursday was sharpen it up like a skew and used it as a skew. And if any of you missed that, it's on my YouTube channel. You can go back and watch that. So providing you use tools safely, there's no reason why you can't improvise and use a screwdriver as a skew.
Yeah, when you see some of these videos coming out of India and places like that, and the stuff
Yeah.
they're using,
Yeah, tractor wheels
Yeah,
is
awesome.
laid. And
yeah.
was it Axminster Tools that he's on, or is it the Skill Centre?
I'm not sure. Richard's put a comment up there.
Trying
I
to find
think
a link for it.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with Axminster because he's affiliated to Axminster,
Yeah,
but he's also got his own home workshop because he was demoing from home before Christmas with his wife, wasn't he?
yeah.
She was running the camera.
What's the Hodgepodge says it's the X-Mister channel.
Right. Yeah, I
Okay.
think it is. I think
I've never seen this guy we're talking about. Who was it again? Colin.
Colin Way.
I've
Yeah,
never seen him, so I'll nip over there and see that at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Just to,
He's a really good turner. I like
He
watching
is.
Colin.
I quite like watching him, but he will push his own skews, the German style skew, whereas our skew is parallel for the length of it. The German one starts at, for argument's sake, an inch, inch and a quarter, and tapers down to half inch down by the tang. So you've got no immediate strength at the tang. I know the tang on this one, and this is a Hamlet because it's got it written on the handle, tapers down to half an inch where it goes into the handle. But his tapers from all the way down. And they were a lot thinner. This one's
Steve, can you PM me the link
quarter of an
to
inch.
your events calendar, and I'll pop it up. I wasn't.
Yeah, this one tapers down. His tapers down all the length. That is parallel all the length. So it makes quite a bit of difference, I think, because the weakest point is furthest away from the handle, which flexes as you use it.
so Peter Kelly's away. He's back off to his
Peter.
shed. He's going to finish off some turning.
Yeah, hope you got the heater running down there, mate. What are you on today? Pens, or is it something a bit more manly?
I would have said substantial, Keith.
Yeah, I know Pete, so I say manly. His wife works in the NHS, so.
Right. Okie dokies. I can't find it.
Yeah, see, Hodge, like Hodge says, he does. Colwyn does a lot of projects. So he did the smokers before Christmas. He did the 2-3 part snowman, angel fairy, whatever you want to call it. Quite good. Candlestick and potpourri thing. Well, it's usually a potpourri pot, Pete, but if it's a thing, God knows. Has it got holes in the bottom as well? Colwyn Way skews, I love them personally. They are light and very easy to use, says Steve. Yeah, I've seen them. He bought them to club when he came over or come up to us. I just put them in my hand and I could twist them, flex them in their length. So that's what put me off. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're good. I got put off because of that, and I can only say that as a genuine observation. You wouldn't get hold of that skew and flex it at that point, but I could on his.
There we go. Right. Copy that.
Steve says he has the Colwyn Way skews.
Yeah.
He loves them personally because they're light and very easy to use. Well,
Yeah, I
everybody
want
has a personal opinion of tools, of course,
Yeah.
and everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's great.
Every tool's easy to use if you use it enough.
I don't have enough experience of using tools to make an opinion yet, so
Yeah. Well,
After watching Colwyn use them on his videos, I want to try one. There's the link to Steve's Forking Banana live events calendar.
all right. Yeah.
It's
That's
more
okay.
up to date than the one that I've got on mine.
It's a comprehensive calendar, I have to say. Well done,
Mm.
Steve.
Yeah. Thanks for
I wasn't
changing
aware of it.
the dates on there, mate.
Yeah, I wasn't
Steve.
aware of it till now, but I'm going to bookmark it.
Yeah, I've got it bookmarked, so I can go to it. And if anyone wants to
I
be
think
added on there, I'm sure Steve will add you if you let him know that you're a turner, and when you're demonstrating, it's not so much the one-offs, it's and the pop-ups. I think he really wants to put it down as more of a permanent. But I'm sure if you've got a big one-off coming up, he would put it on there. I haven't spoken to him, but I'm sure he would do if you messaged him, ask him nicely, and you can message him or email him through the calendar itself. Clive Rogerson saying he's found that Steve's calendar very useful. But we all need somewhere to as a database, don't we?
Yeah.
And that's worth it. Right, I'm coming up to hour and a half, hour and 3/4, so I'm going to go and hit the off button, guys. Thank you all for
Cheers for a great demo, Dave.
appearing.
Super demo again, Keith. Thank you.
It
I'm going
was
to shoot off as well because I've got to go and pay a visit somewhere.
okay. I did that before I come in here, but I'm going to go and hit the button.
Coffee.
Yeah.
I'll
hopefully
catch you
see
all
all
later.
you guys. Yeah, hopefully see all you guys on Thursday. And thank you very much. Oh, Linnykins is still here. No, obviously not too busy today then.
So bye, everybody.
Yep. Cheers
Please
all.
again.
I'm going to hit the off button. If I can wake the mouse up. End broadcast. Thanks, guys. End.